Hi friends, welcome back or welcome if it is your first time here. Today we're going to be doing something a teensy tiny bit different. We're going to be doing a Sims 4 build. So I normally do makeup videos on my channel, but honestly The Sims is something that I've been really passionate about for probably like a year, but I've really got into it in the last like months. And it's just, I don't know, I just have been enjoying it a lot more than doing makeup. So I kind of want to do this for a little bit. I hope you like it. If you do, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I am going to be doing a lot more of these. And let's get into it. So the build we're going to be doing today is going to be like a beach house. I built it in Brindleton Bay. I built it in the Tails End lot. And I did record it like already. And I'm just going to speed up the footage and sort of like talk over it. I did try sort of like a couple times to build whilst like actively talking, but honestly, like buildings take me like minimum like 4 hours. A lot of the time they take me like a few days in a few different sittings. So I thought this was going to be the best way to go about it. So let's just start. Okay, so you can see that we're starting with our shell, and I did actually have an inspiration picture for this. I found it on Pinterest. If I can find it again, I'll put it on the screen now. But I basically want to build like this really beachy inspired house. So it's got like a lot of white to it, and I really wanted the landscaping as well to be like a big main focal point. I don't normally do like beachy builds and stuff because I don't have the Sims 4 Island Living. I actually had it on my PlayStation. I used to play Sims on the PlayStation way before I had a computer. So I actually used to have Island Living on my PlayStation, and I used to do a lot of like beachy builds with that, obviously, because it comes with beaches. But I have cats and dogs, so I figured I'd do it in Brindleton Bay, because Brindleton Bay does have like quite a few like beachy areas. You can't really go in the beach like you can in Sulani or Island Living. So you can see here, I'm just building out like a little kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, like a little garden area. And it's because in my inspiration picture I saw it, I normally would never do anything like this. I'd normally just do landscaping. But I thought I'd use that fence from cats and dogs and just sort of like do a little 1 block area right in front of where I'm going to put my windows. That's going to be the living room eventually. I just feel like it really fit. But I put in some sort of like of those really low laying like square like flower things. I've never actually used them before, but they came in really handy in this build. So I've used them all along the floor so you can see that it's like sort of like a garden. And then I just put in some shrubs. You can see now I'm working on a homemade pergola. So I'm just taking like a base game fence and just doing that. Again, it's because I saw it in the inspiration picture, and also in like a really beachy build, you're going to see a lot of sort of like outside living areas. I did try to sort of do it with these different columns, but honestly I thought they just looked really really weird from down below because they were so boxy, and I couldn't like raise them all the way, which is one thing that's really annoying about columns. So yeah, I just went in with some cats and dogs columns. Yay! I love you. I love you. Now I'm just putting my house up on a platform because I wanted to do some sort of like platform steps. I've been really getting into platforms a lot more recently. I never used to use them at all, but I have one build that I did the other day that's like just all platforms everywhere. I like went overboard with platforms. So here I'm just doing some steps, but because I've done the steps I have to raise the whole house on a platform, otherwise there's going to be like a dip between like the entryway and the inside, so then the door won't fit flush. So yeah, I just raised everything on the platform. I'm using medium wall height, I believe, on both because I wanted it to look quite big. Honestly, in the end, I really wish I had shrunk this down a little bit. I think it's like a little bit too wide, but by the time that I got to the end, I'd done so much work on it that I just didn't want to mess with it. But yeah, now I'm taking that same cats and dogs fencing and I'm just going to go around, and normally I don't do this style of like fencing, I guess, but I was really inspired again by the picture to sort of like put my gate like where I put it and have sort of like 2 different areas, like a front garden and a back garden. But like it's the garden is very different to anything that I normally do, but I actually really like the way it turned out. Especially now you'll see me, I'm working on this like palm tree area. My god, I had such a hard time with this because basically I wanted it to be like half walls and I wanted it to sort of be on a platform so it looked almost like built-in flower beds. But I was having such a hard time because I also wanted it to be like a fence. But you'll see like when I put the platform on, obviously the fence like is raised with it. So I ended up just going for like full half walls, and I raised it on a platform, and right now I'm just doing this front area. I'm just using some base game palm trees, and I go in with some little flower things from Jungle Adventure, which I honestly think looks so cute. I also am going to use that not base, it is base game, but the like little flooring bits that I did, because I think it just makes it look a lot more lush than just like putting in grass, or just like putting in like a tile or like terrain paint or whatever. Not that you could use terrain paint on a platform. But anyway, in the end, I go on and I extend the palm tree area to actually both sides, and I really like the way it looks. At the minute, I do like it, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. But also, these windows that I'm using from Cats and Dogs, they're like open ones. I've never actually used them before, but I thought this build was just such like a inside outside kind of vibe. It was like really breezy is the vibe that it gave me. Like if you were going to stay here in real life, like the windows would always be open. So I thought that it really worked just having those like sort of like holes instead of like actual windows, because there's no glass obviously. So for this I wanted to go completely all white. I wanted to use the Cats and Dogs panel in there in white, just because I wanted to use all Cats and Dogs obviously because we're in Brindleton Bay, and I do think it gives that sort of like Cape Cod kind of house, which is sort of the inspiration I was going for. But I wanted everything to be white. Normally I like to do a little bit of contrast in my builds, like I like to use different wallpapers on like different bumps out and stuff, but in this case I just settled for the wood paneling on the actual house, and then on the roof I use the shingles, which I think look really nice, and in the all white I think they add a lot of texture. I'm going in now with some cobblers just to add a little bit of detail. I actually used the seasons ones, and then I saw some from Cats and Dogs, so I went and removed all of the seasons ones, put on the Cats and Dogs ones, didn't like the way they looked, and then went all the way back to seasons. But you'll see as well that I'm doing this sort of like trick with the blinds next to my windows to make them look like shutters. I actually saw this hack a little while ago, and this is the first time I've ever used it. They're just base game blinds, and I think it looks so good, and it just adds a lot more like, I don't know, a lot more like texture and like variety to the windows, because obviously only some of the windows come with shutters, and honestly I don't really like them. So yeah, we're just carving out this back garden area now with some stone, just to sort of see like what's going to be the actual back garden area, because honestly there's quite a lot of room on this lot that I could have played with, but I really wanted it to just be like the back garden area. I'm just moving everything over because I realized I wanted it to be a bit bigger. Also I think it was because it wasn't even. I think that's what was annoying me, so I just sort of evened it out there, and you can see there that I played around with extending the palm trees. I do actually do that at the end, but right now I'm just going in with a pool. I definitely think a home like this would have a pool, so I went for sort of like a little bit of a different shape, and I was just playing around with different different pool trims, because I haven't actually used that Jungle Adventure one yet. Going in with some nice crisp blue water, because you know they would have it, and then obviously a little diving board because it's meant to be like a family home. I don't actually think I ended up putting in too many bedrooms, because the house was honestly very, very awkward to sort out a layout. But I'm going in with these little base game turtles. I used to always do this in the bottom of my pools. Honestly, I haven't done it in a hot minute, and I just thought it looked really cute, especially with like the family friendly vibes. So I put some little turtles in, and honestly they just ended up looking so cute. Going in with some lighting now for the pool, so obviously like you can see it at night time, and I'm just changing it over using L on my keyboard so I can see all the different times. And I was trying to put these in like the little things in the turtle's shell, but when I made them super small you couldn't see them. But it was a nice idea in theory. I really wish it would have worked, because it would have been so cute. But you can see it on the big turtle at least, which is a bonus. I'm going in with some wallpaper. I wanted something to mimic sort of like that really crystal clear blue, so I just went in with some base game wallpaper and flooring. And now we're going to start working, well, more on the exterior. Honestly, I wanted it to be more interesting. I wanted more bump out, so I wanted more shape, because it was looking really boxy, and with like the all white as well, I felt like it was making it look even more boxy and even more like plain. So I'm just going in with some platforms now, again because obviously I had the house on a platform, so I'm just making some custom platform stairs, which I really like the way they ended up looking in the end. Again, I'm just extending the back garden even more. I just realized that I'd made it way too small, and now I'm trying to do the exact same thing that I did at the front, with like that little garden-esque area just out the front. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just like copying it to the back, because I think it gives it quite a little bit more of interest, and I like bringing in the greenery because the build is just so white. I'm adding another balcony at the top, and honestly I really regretted this decision. because I realised inside I'd added 2 balconies on the same part, and you can see at the side there that the actual inside is so small and it's so awkward because there's 2 balconies. I really struggled on the inside, like sorting out the stairs, sorting out like the layout of the upstairs in particular. Oh my god, it was an absolute nightmare. So if I was doing this again, I think I'd make the shell longer and thinner, and I would not add as many balconies. But you can see now I'm just extending that palm tree. I'm also going to go in with a different variant of that sort of like a ground block, because I think it makes it look a bit more interesting, because it has that sort of like different colour to it. It's a bit more like darker. I'm just adding in some more palm trees. I'm making them bigger and smaller. You can use the brackets on your keyboard, and that will just like make things smaller or bigger. And I'm just going in with some more of these little plant things from Jungle Adventure. I use them in red and yellow just to give a bit more like differentiation. Is that even a word? Differentiation? Whatever. I'm using some lighting now as well. I really like how this turned out. This is going to sound so weird, but like the lighting that I did, the way you'll see it in a second, I like raised it up so it was coming out of like the fences and the half walls, and I really like the way it looked. Like I'm doing it now, and it's just that's a weird thing to like, but I just thought it made it look a lot more sort of like custom, like it was like built in. I'm going in with some lighting, obviously from cats and dogs, because it matches what's on the gate already, and I think it just looks really cute, even though that's more sort of like barny rather than beachy. And we're going to try and add some flower boxes, because I just thought it was looking way too just white. And we're moving on indoors, and we're going to try and figure out the layout. We're starting upstairs for some reason. I think it's because I was really struggling with the stair placement, and I was really worried that I wouldn't even be able to fit 2 bedrooms, and I really wanted this to be a family home. So I'm just messing around with the stairs. I'm going to put them in quite a few different locations. I wanted them to stay relatively close to my front door, but I was really struggling. So now I'm just playing around with my little awning things. I thought they looked a bit weird at the bottom, so I moved them to the top, and I honestly think they looked a lot better, and it just I think it just looked a lot nicer. I'm adding again some little trellis in from high school years, just to add a bit more sort of like greenery and something that looks, I didn't want to add vines everywhere, but I wanted to add a little bit of greenery and a bit more like detail to the outside. I'm playing around with my windows here on the side, still trying to figure out the stairs. I know that I wanted my living room there because of all of those beautiful open like windows. I really wanted my living room to be there, so it was sort of like an inside outside type of living. But honestly, the layout downstairs was pretty easy. Like I think it came together pretty well. I had a little bit of issue. You'll see there's like 2 little 1 tile bump outs by the back door. That was to add some shape to the exterior, but it did sort of, it made a couple of problems on the interior. But honestly, like the downstairs layout, like it was big enough to have everything that I possibly needed. I just had to play around with it quite a little bit. Like honestly, the stairs, I tried so many different things with those stairs, but the layout that I settled for was a bathroom behind the stairs. And I do believe we end up with 3 bathrooms in this house. And as well, you'll see I have a bunch of new stuff. It's because I had just bought the country kitchen kit. So that's why I'm using all of the country kitchen kit counters and cabinets, and I really like them. I've been wanting them for ages, and I finally got them. But now we're just furnishing this downstairs bathroom I didn't really go ahead and like properly furnish any of the rooms yet. I just wanted to see if all of the furniture would fit in them, and to see if I had the layout right, because I was struggling with it so much. I didn't want to just add everything and then have to move everything. So I'm just adding everything that I could possibly need in and seeing what I like the look of. I do end up keeping, I'm fairly certain, all of that furniture that I've just put in, but I went ahead and added some windows in as well, just like stacked on top of each other. I thought they looked a bit different from the outside, and also they were very fit-in from a bathroom. We're using the cats and dogs door, and you can see I'm playing around with the layout again. Like I said, I really wanted there to be 2 bedrooms at least. I honestly would have hoped for like 3, but we did end up only with 2 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. But I know that I really wanted this to be a family home, so I needed to at least have 2 bedrooms in it. But I'm just going ahead and playing around with like the wallpaper in the bathroom. I really didn't know what I wanted to do, and because the house is on a platform, you can see like part of the wallpaper has sort of cut off at the bottom. So because the house was on a platform, I did have to sort of like work around it a little bit. But I also implemented platforms in quite a few different areas of the home, just because I really like the way that they look. I like I don't know, like the little details that they add. I think it's like really cool for like sectioning off areas. But I'm just playing around with different wallpapers, trying to see what I wanted. And I'm fairly certain in the end that I just ended up using like a plain white because I just thought that it fit with the aesthetic like way better than anything else that I could find. Yeah, I'm just looking through all of the different white wallpapers and I'm gonna try like 5 or 6 that pretty much look exactly the same. But I was really wanted to find the perfect white wallpaper, and I'm fairly certain I ended up with one that didn't have like a line at the bottom because I thought it looked a bit weird. But I was keeping that banana leaf paper because I wanted that for the parents' bedroom. So I just put a little one tile down just so that I wouldn't lose it. Now we're trying to find a couch, and I don't know why I called it a couch. We're trying to find a sofa. But this home I wanted it to be really like white and blue, like very beachy, very like California, like surfing, like just I wanted it to be really cozy but still look really like airy, if that makes sense. So I'm just working on the living room. Again, I had some problems because I just wanted everything to just like fit just right. But I really liked the way that this living room ended up in the end. I end up completely switching around the layout. You'll see a few times. But the way that this living room ends up in the end, I really, really like it. It's like honestly one of my favourite builds that I've done in a really long time. But the entryway as well, I found so fun. I'm going in with these boxes from high school years. Honestly, I don't normally use these. But for like entryways and like custom wardrobes, I think they look amazing. So I'm just using them in the entryway to sort of make like a place that you could put your coat and you could put like your shoes and stuff. Obviously, we don't have that in The Sims really. But yeah, I'm going in with some stuff from the Bloomin' Rooms kit as well because that is a new kit that I've downloaded. And we're just going to add some stuff to it. I just wanted to see if I liked the vibe and the way that I was going with it, and I do really like it. I added a platform here as well just to make it, again, a bit more like, not like fancy, but I really like the way that it distinguishes the different areas. And I'm just going around and playing with my window because I think I lowered the whole house platform so that the entryway was up on a platform, if that makes sense. So I just had to go around and like lower all of the windows, and then I ended up doing another platform by the back door again, so you could just get outside so that the platforms, like, it didn't mess with the actual height. I actually ended up putting laundry in this build as well, which I never normally do because just like gameplay wise I find it so annoying having to do laundry. But there was that one little like gap right there, like the one tile gap, and I just thought it fit perfectly. I'm going in with these country kitchen cabinets, and I really like the way they look, but my god was that one annoying to place. It's meant to not be like an end piece, it's meant to be like an outer corner piece, but I love using the outer corner pieces as end pieces because they have so much more detail on them and I think they look amazing. Like I really like the one from Cottage Living as well, but this one for some reason, every time I tried to place it, it would just flip the other way and then it wouldn't like go to the correct height, so I spent so long like battling with it and just trying to get it to go to the right height. It was driving me insane. But this kitchen is beautiful. It's like a full kitchen. You've got a full island so you can have beautiful family breakfasts. And it just is really like, it's a really lovely kitchen. And I really like the stuff from the country kitchen kit. I had seen a lot of people use it and I knew that I was going to like it because I really love the stuff from Cottage Living as well. But my god, it's like way better than I thought it would be. And honestly, I'm probably going to use it in every single build. But now we're just adding in our laundry because honestly, it fit perfect. Like I had to do it. It just fit perfect. And like, for just looks wise, like the laundry looks nice. It makes it look more realistic. It's honestly just gameplay, but I did add in enough hampers into this house. So if you do want to download it and play with gameplay, it'll be fine. Like you won't end up with like dirty washing all over the floor. But also this little area under the stairs, I make into like a little pet area in a minute, you'll see. I honestly have no idea if it's functional. I don't think I ever tested it. Because when right at the end I actually made the Sims for this home. Like I made the family, I made the mum, the dad and the son. But I actually forgot to make the dog, so we can't see. But I'm working on it now. There's like a little pet bed under there. I had some toys, I had some other stuff, and it ends up looking so cute. The one thing with this game is that the pet beds are so big that I don't know where you're meant to put them. Because as well, like if you put them sort of like out a little bit, it will make it so your sim can't walk past, and they're just so annoying. So yeah, I put it under that. I hope it works. If not, it looks cute. we're working on the living room now, and like I said, I wanted like real like family vibes. I'm using this coffee table from Growing Together, and I was just shrinking it down and sort of playing around with it. I really like the glass element to the table. I think it looks like the water, and it's like got sort of like that natural element to it as well. I really like that coffee table. I've never sort of done that though, that stacked thing. I'm adding some spandrels here as well, just because I wanted it to look just a little bit separated. I know that it's not fully separated from like the stairways, but it does make it feel a bit more private, and that is sort of what I wanted. So we're coming into the final layout of the living room now. You'll see that I'm gonna like swap everything around, but it's worth it. It's worth it. I'm fairly certain that I actually delete the spandrels now that I've said that. Yeah, see, I deleted the spandrels anyway, because it just like it was making the living room too small. So this is gonna be our final layout. So I added just like a standing TV onto that cats and dogs table. I really love that table. And I saw this one mirror and I was like, that's it, I'm going for a mirror wall. I saw someone do this, I think it was Sid Mac, do sort of like this amazing mirror wall, and I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to do like antique mirrors. I think like the sort of like gold and brass really works well with like the whites and creams and blues. So we went for sort of like this antique mirror wall. I added some clocks as well, and I think it just ended up looking so like cool and cute. And honestly, it's not something I've ever done before, but I really like the way it turns out. Honestly, it's my favorite part of a build that I think I've done in like a really long time. I think it just looks so cool. So I'm going in with like different mirrors and different like clocks and stuff, just to make it look sort of like a mishmash collection. And I really like the way it looks. I was messing around with the swatches a bit because I didn't want them all to be the same sort of like tone of gold. I wanted them to be like a mixture. But yeah, I added in some more clocks as well to use upstairs, because I was like, all right, they're just going to be a clock collector now. I'm adding in that big hanging plant from the Blooming Rooms kit. I love that item so much. So this build as well is going to be very like planty. It's not going to be too planty, but there's going to be quite a few plants. I'm going in with some now on this Blooming Rooms, sort of like, I don't know what it's called. It's like a little plant shelf. I really like that item. But I'm just going in with a couple different planties there, and we're going to start cluttering that. I really like this item in particular, the one I've just placed, the little plants, where, I don't know, it almost just looks like they're little test tubes or something. I really like that. And all of the country kitchen clutter that I'm going in with now, I love that clutter. I heard you sigh very loudly then, Cameron. But yeah, we're gonna go in with these Blooming Rooms kit like curtains. I really love them, although I know they would not be practical in the slightest if you had them in your real house, but for the purposes of The Sims, I think they just look so cute, and they just add like liveliness, and they just add like something interesting to the build. Like I said a few times, because everything is so white, just add in those pops of like the greenery from like plants and stuff. It really makes it come alive without having to use without having to use colours on the walls and stuff. You can see there that I just accidentally pressed the caps lock. I do that quite a few times. But I'm just going in with like some different plants and sort of like cluttering up, and just making it, I wanted this house to look like lived in, but like kind of like the perfect family home, if that makes sense, like perfect like suburban, but I still wanted it to look like lived in and like a family does live here. So I did make it like not too messy, but I made it a little bit cluttered. Honestly, it's not as cluttered as a lot of my other builds. I'm just working now on like a little plant corner. I didn't know what to put there, and honestly I think this ended up looking so cute, and I was using a bunch of different plants that I don't normally use. I think it ended up looking really cute. I'm glad that I did that actually. And yeah, we're just going in with more clutter. I'm just going through the plant section and just looking at anything I can add to sort of like fill up space, and I'm using like a lot of different plants that I don't normally use. All of my lighting as well for now is from cats and dogs, and I really like it. I think it gives that sort of like family home vibe. Another item that I really love from the Blooming Rooms kit is that sort of like little shelf of them, because you can add like decoration to a counter without it actually having to be on the counter, so it doesn't get in the way of like gameplay or anything, because it's obviously hanging on the wall. But I really love those sunflowers as well. I think they gave it like a really like happy like sort of like touch, and honestly it reminded me, I guess, of like my home as a kid. So yeah, I really like the sunflowers. I think it just sort of like again brought in that like pop of color. I'm going in now with the light switches. I guarantee there's going to be rooms in the house that I forgot to add light switches to. I'm also adding a towel into the kitchen. I don't normally do that. Oh, you can see I didn't do it. I was going to say I don't normally do that because a lot of the towels that we have in the game look like bathroom towels to me. They don't look like tea towels. But I didn't end up using this, and I also used like a corbella to sort of like hang it, although it's like stuck to the wall. I just thought, I don't know, it looked kind of cool, so I did it. I'm adding a vent as well, just for like a little bit more extra detail. Like, it doesn't do anything. And I'm also downloading some artwork here from the gallery. I think I had most of this saved to my library already, but I was just looking for like beachy art, and some of them are like in-game paintings from cats and dogs just without the frame. So I just went ahead and I grabbed some of my favorites. Honestly, I used a lot of them, and I use this paranormal stuff frame to like frame the paintings, so it looks like, I don't know, it doesn't just look like a painting, it looks like a really nice framed picture. Honestly, this house is probably really expensive just because of the amount of frames that I used, because I put quite a lot of pictures in this home. But I just think it gives it such a nice like detail to it, and it just like, it just adds something to it. It makes it like look separate from the wall. And I'm doing like a gallery wall up here, like where the stairs come up, and I use that trick with the paranormal stuff frames. I'm just trying to look through all of the different artwork and see what I wanted to have, and everything you can see is really like, it's like just beachy focused. So I'm just shrinking again the frames down and just sort of like adding them on. Honestly, it took quite a while. And this is like a little awkward area again upstairs in sort of like the landing, so where the stairs go up. So I'm just adding on like a little cats and dogs end table, and that little light from Cats and Dogs. I think it looks so cute, the little lighthouse light, and honestly it fit into this build perfectly. We're gonna add a nice big mirror here as well. This is one from Vintage Glamour, just because I think it looked like really nice and it filled the entire space really perfectly. So yeah, I just found some dog food as well. And seeing as the dog is quite a big part of this home, even though I did in fact forget it, I just thought I'd add that. I'm adding some clutter again to make it look more lived in. So some like posts, I think that's from City Living. I'm adding in some little toiletries, that's from Base Game. Some like a tissue box. I love adding in these plants from Parenthood, because I think it just looks like something that a kid's made their mum or something, and I think it looks so cute. You'll notice as well upstairs I add in like this it's like a bear and it has like a little heart that says love you or something, and I always like to add that in sort of like my parents' bedrooms, because when I was a kid I remember making my mum a cake one year, and I got her like a little bear to go on top of it that said like love you mum or something, and she kept it on the kitchen, like the windowsill in the kitchen, for ages afterwards. So it always reminds me of that, so I always add them into my builds. But I'm just cluttering up the kitchen a little bit. We're adding in some like utensils and stuff. Honestly, I wish we had different utensils in this game. I use the same ones over and over again. And we're just adding in some cottage living clutter as well, because I think it goes really well with this vibe. Just adding some different swatches so it doesn't look like too like cutesy cottagey. You can see I'm just adding that little laundry hamper up in what is going to probably be the kids' room, just because I don't know, I really like it. I think it looks cute. It doesn't actually function as a laundry hamper, but anything I find that I think is going to be in the bedrooms, I'm just adding up there. I'm adding some puzzles and some like games underneath the table, because I think it just looks so cute, and it makes it just look so more like realistic. Like the games are there and they just like grab them out and like play with them. I'm working on the layout upstairs again, and I think I finally got it right. So I've added in another bathroom, so you get 3 bathrooms, which is pretty good to be honest, especially considering right at the start I couldn't even fit in 2 bedrooms. So we've got 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms upstairs, and the parents are going to have a pretty big bedroom and they've gone ensuite, and then the kid has honestly a pretty small room, but the kids room I am obsessed with. It's honestly like my most favorite kids room that I've done in a hot minute. It was like, I just felt like everything came together just like really easily. And yeah, so I'm just filling up these bathrooms with all of the basics just dead quickly, just moving everything over. And now we are working on beds. So I'm trying to find beds that will fit my sort of like vibe that I'm going for. And I ended up changing this room to sort of like this black and white theme. It reminded me of a video, honestly, that Sid Mac did. Not that, I don't know if it was long ago. I didn't watch it that long ago. but she was doing like a Malibu, was it like Malibu home in like black and white or something, where there's like a lot of like palm trees and stuff. And honestly, this is really what it reminded me of, and I think it ended up looking like really classy. Whereas like the kids' bedroom, I definitely went colourful. The theme is definitely orange and blue, and I just honestly felt like everything just came together really easily. Like once I found the right bed, which was a little bit of a struggle, you can see I'm literally flicking through every single bed, but this is the bed I settled on. I think it's just so cutesy, and it just gives me really like almost like little kid vibes. So I think this kid's gonna be like relatively young. They're not gonna be like anywhere close to being a teen. But you can see I'm adding some curtains. I'm just adding some sheer ones from Parenthood into the parents' bedroom. And now we're gonna start working on this kid's room, and honestly, love this kid's room. So I was trying the matching end table from Cats and Dogs, didn't end up liking it. I really did like that one from Bowling Stuff. Or is it Bowling Night? Whatever. But I like this poof as well from Tiny Living. I end up keeping that, but I want to go for this Parenthood one. It's got the right colours. It's got the right vibes. It looks fun. It looks like homemade, like home painted and stuff. Really like this wardrobe as well. I'm fairly certain I put 2 dresses in this bedroom just because I really like the way it looks. So I'm doing that standing dresser in a nice bright orange, and I had it like a little bit ajar. Like I didn't want it perfectly straight against the wall. I don't know why, just because I felt like kids would be messy. I'm doing a little mirror area right by the front, like by the front of the room. And honestly, I really like the way this comes together at the end, because I get one of those like height charts and put it next to it. You'll see in a minute, but I just feel like it makes it look like the kids like measuring themselves in the mirror. I did play around with the idea of having a pet bed in this room, but I realised that the pet bed I'd put downstairs was so large that if I had a small one up here, it wouldn't really make sense, because I'm assuming they're going to have a pretty big dog. But I'm going in with these like hanging star things from Seasons. I haven't ever really used them, but I just thought they added, again, like a nice little different addition to it, especially because I don't normally use like ceiling decorations, honestly, ever. I'm just looking through all the different like murals and just seeing what I want. This is where I add it like right next to the mirror, this little high chart, and I think it just looks so cute. I really like it. I'm just looking through all of the different posters, trying to see what I think will work. I think I figure out in the end that this kid is going to be like quite creative. I did try and put a desk in here. I take it out in a minute for the for a crafting table from Seasons. Just gonna add in a little bunny bookshelf on top of their wardrobe so that they can read if they want to. They probably can't reach it. I did put in this journal. For now, we remove it in a minute because it just doesn't really fit with all the stuff that I want. But I was really trying to find like this kid's vibe, and I just feel like this kid is just like, I don't know, just like a normal kid, just like creative. They're not like a scientific genius or whatever. They're just like kind of creative and messy. I kept that chair because I really like it, and honestly I don't normally do stuff like that where I like just keep a random chair in the corner, but I just thought it looked cool. It looked like if the kid has like friends over, they can just like sit on there. And in a minute I put a backpack on top of it, so it makes it look like it's got the backpack on it. And honestly, I went all out with like the clutter and the mess in this room. Like, this kid is messy. This kid has a lot of stuff, and honestly it's kind of a spoiled kid as well. So they've got that big toy box right in the corner. I didn't want to get rid of the poof though, so I'm just trying to fit everything in. So you can't sit on top of the poof because I end up putting clutter on top of it. So it's fine that it's squished all the way in the corner. I find all of this crafting clutter and I'm just putting that everywhere, just to make it look like this kid just like, I feel like they're going to have like a really active imagination. Like maybe one day they'll be like a writer or something. Like I don't really think they're going to be like a painter, but I think they could be like a creative writer. But yeah, we're looking through trying to find any sort of clutter we can find. I felt like that fit in because it's like extra blankets and stuff if they have a friend over for like a sleepover or something. I'm just messing around with this sort of stuff. Again, so that poof is pushed all the way in the corner, but it doesn't matter because you can't use it anyway. I don't even know if it is a seat. I don't think it is, you know. But I'm playing around with the swatches because I thought it was a bit too much like just orange on orange. But I also played around with the rugs and sort of like doubled up on the rugs again because I wanted it to look really like just messy and alive in this room. I'm adding sort of like those Minecraft-esque posters in there, but I changed them out for some pictures that the child had drawn, and I honestly thought that it just fit in really well because it's like a scuba diving in like palm trees, and it's almost like maybe they've been like painting out of their window at the beach. I'm just looking through light and whatever will work in this room. I end up doing something kind of cool with the ceiling lights. I use bowling night bowling night lights in like blue and orange, and I sort of like make my own little centerpiece whatever. I end up making my own sort of thing out of the lights. I can't forget the Defender light, because normally I do forget that. I wish we had different night lights, because honestly I really hate the way that the ones in game look. But I'm just adding some more little bits in for my little kid's bedroom. I can hear Lily snoring, I'm sorry, you can too. And now we're moving on to the parents' bedroom, and we're just playing around with like different end tables, and you can see I'm sort of going for almost like a different vibe, I'd say, to the rest of the house. Like, it is still sort of like blue and white-esque, but it's definitely a bit more like, I don't know, like classy, if that makes, I mean the whole house is classy, I don't know, but it's definitely a little bit of a different vibe. Like, it's got a little bit of a different colour scheme. I'm trying again to do like a mirror wall. I end up removing it because I just thought, like, not that it looked a bit weird, but I didn't want to like repeat mirrors, and also I was like, they've already got one mirror wall, they don't need another. So I put a vanity table down there, and I just move around the bathroom door, and I do change that out for a desk, like at them in the end. But I'm just playing around again with the swatches. I wanted it to look really sort of like clean in here, like really like, I don't know, like well looked after. So I'm just looking for a chair for my vanity. I end up using the one from Cats and Dogs, and we're going to add in a dresser. I end up using, I'm fairly certain, the one from Growing Together. I really love that dresser. I'm playing around with the layout again because I just wanted it, I don't know, the dresses I was trying were all quite like boxy. That's why I really like the one from Growing Together. It's because it's not like too like boxy or anything. It fits really nicely in like small spaces. I do end up, I believe, getting rid of that like flowering end table. I'm just sizing down that clock just so it doesn't look so big. And honestly, it doesn't like affect it because it's not like it really functions anyway. But now we're trying to find a rug, and I had a little bit of a difficult time trying to find rugs because I had a very specific needs for what I wanted. I ended up going with this one from Tiny Living. I changed the swatch in a minute because I didn't want it to be too blue. I definitely wanted it to be like all like white and crisp and like clean and sophisticated, so that's what we're going for. I also really like the rugs from Laundry Day with this aesthetic, like the rattan. When I was looking up pictures of like beachy homes, obviously like rattan furniture and stuff was coming up a lot, so I really like the way that the Laundry Day rugs look with it. And adding in a little speaker, I don't actually know if it's functional if you have to raise it up like that. Sometimes I have problems with things like that, but this is the little bear I was telling you about earlier, the one that reminds me of my mum. So I was just popping that on top of there, almost like the kid got her it for like her birthday or something, or maybe he got the dad it. But yeah, I'm just looking for any sort of like clutter that matches with, like, you can see I've got my colour filter on to like white and blue, so I'm literally just looking for clutter that is white and blue. I use this beautiful vase from Dine Out. Honestly, I love that vase. I end up putting a plant in it in a minute, and I just think it looks so cool. I was using this mood light that I don't think I've ever actually used before, but it looks really cool. The only weird thing with it is that if you try and change the swatch a bit after you put it down, it won't let you, which I haven't ever seen that with an item before. It's super weird. I'm also using this lamp here from Growing Together that I've never used before. I deleted it, but I do put it back in a second. And I put it by the mirror, and honestly, it's kind of like a bit of an odd placement, but I kind of like how it looks. I'm trying to make almost like different sections in the room. So I'm making like a desk section, and then there's like a mirror section, and there's like a wardrobe section, and there's a bed section. I'm trying to make all of these different areas. I'm using this desk as well from Seasons because honestly I just think it's beautiful. I just think it's like a really nice design. And I'm working on the patio a little bit. I did put out an easel out here, but I honestly don't see them being an artist, so I ended up putting in like some guitars and stuff because I thought that sort of fit with like the surfer beachy kind of vibes a little bit more. Honestly, I wish I had like surfboards or something because I would definitely put them here. I'm just putting like a bookshelf in the hallway just so, because this hallway is kind of awkward, like it's a really odd shape, so I just ended up putting a bookcase out there just so that it looked a bit more normal. I'm grabbing some more of my gallery art, and obviously they have their own private balcony, which is really lovely, but there is sort of like a balcony on the other side that also like that isn't private, but I end up shrinking it. I don't know if I've already done it. I think I have. But I end up shrinking it so it's only one tile, so you can't really do a lot out there. So I just put some plants out there. But this balcony that they've got in their bedroom is like a lot bigger, and they end up having like a full seating area out here, and like a lot of plants, and it's just a really cute little place. So you can see I'm just taking another plant and just putting it in that vase, and it looks so beautiful in that. I really like it. I'm grabbing out those plants from Growing Together. I've never actually used them before, but I felt like they just really fit in this house, as well as those that paranormal stuff, palm tree. I've never used that before because it's always like so big, and I'm like, well, where would I use this? And it's like this house. This house is perfect. You can see I'm just finishing off a bathroom here quickly. I just wanted to show you how I finished this bathroom because I'm fairly certain I don't show you the other bathrooms like completely done. So I just wanted to show you this one. So I'm going in with like a robe. We've got some more pictures in there. We've got the little caddy, and I will do a walkthrough at the end so you can see the house like completely and all the bits that I've missed out in this little video. I'm using that City Living rug there. I really like that rug. I just think it looks like it would be so like comfy, so like step on, although cleaning it would be a nightmare because it would get wet. So I'm using this little high school years sort of like set. I think it looks so cute as like a patio furniture. It's like rattan, it's got like a little blanket on it. And doing the same sort of like trick with those Growing Together tables, just to make them look a bit more stacked, because I think it makes it look a bit more interesting, honestly. And I'm going out again with that tiny living rug. I know I've only just used it inside, but I just feel like it looks like an outside like rug to me. I'm using like a high school years ottoman and putting my washing on top of it just so it looks like the washing needs to be put away. I love doing tricks like this. I think it just adds like, I don't know, just something like cute to the build. And I'm just adding a corkboard as well, and I did go into debug and put some postcards on there. You'll see I'm just getting my dining table. This is the last little bit that I did inside. This is pretty much the end of the build. I'm just trying to find a rug to put underneath. Don't tell me I use a tiny living rug again because I'll cry. I'm just flicking through different rugs. I really like those rugs from Growing Together. I just honestly think all of the swatches are so cute, and I really like the vibe. I'm going for sort of like that doubled up rug look again because I just think it looks really cool, honestly. Okay, so that is all of the speed build. So now I'm going to go in game and show you. So this is the little family I created. It's the Galvin family. It's got the mum, Marina, the dad is Jackson, and the son is Zachary. And you can see from her little icon down there that she's rocking an interesting look. So I just gave them like their everyday outfits. I didn't go through and like change all of their other outfits. I just sort of like tried to change their everyday outfits to sort of like fit the vibe that I was going for. But yeah, she's in her swimwear outfit right now. So that's why she's got all of the nose rings and looks a little bit crazy. So if I show you here, this is our finished home. I ended up adding sort of like a car out here because I just thought it looked cool. And I ended up doing the palm trees on both sides. I don't know why they've added a mailbox there because there is quite clearly a mailbox right here. It annoys me when the Sims do that. But this is the home all finished. I think it looks so cool. And yeah, it just ended up looking so beautiful. So I'll show you around. So obviously this is the main part, but if you come back here, this is what it looks like from the back. It looks equally as beautiful. And we're in a very beautiful area. Like that's sort of like the main part of Brindleton Bay. And we have this like beautiful like boating area literally right outside of our home. Not very beachy. There's not really a beach near us, but this house just looks so cute. Like I really like it with the palm trees. I've never done something like that before, but I think it just looks really cool. So you can see that she's cooked out here in our outdoor kitchen. So this is the outdoor kitchen that I made. I finished it off with a few items from Debug. I don't know if they'll like put them away or get smelly or whatever. But I basically made this outdoor kitchen area with like a barbecue that I sort of built in to like the counters. And these are like they're like base game counters, but they're counters that are like locked. And we've just got some like bar stools out here. We've got a little plant area. We've got our outdoor sink. We've got our bin right here. We just have some little clutter things. And we obviously have our little outdoor dining table. I see this family being like a very traditional sort of family. Like they always have like friends over and they're very sociable and the complete opposite of me, and they're just perfect in every way. And we have here sort of like a little water balloon bucket. This is new. This new to me from Seasons because I only got Seasons recently. But I haven't actually seen that interaction yet. I'm really excited to see it. But I just thought that was there because I thought it would be fun for the son. What's his name? He's at school. The son Zachary. Like play with his friends like by the pool. And we've got a nice little candle there from laundry day. We've got our pool ladder, so no Sims need to worry. And we have our little diving board here. And then this is obviously our cute little pool. Oh, what happened? Why did that like move over? Oh well, I'll fix it in a minute. And then we do have this little area here, which is literally just like a little kid's dream. So they've got like a little doll house here. I thought it kind of reminded me the most of the house that I was trying to build. There's like a little bubble blower thing on top that they can blow bubbles. I added the little helicopter on the little helipad, and I just thought that looked so cute. So he's got a little helicopter there as well. He's obviously got Bluffy. We've got a toy box, and we have a little doll here. I think that's like the Clara doll or something. That's from Debug. And around this side there is nothing. But this side I just have a little like bench. I don't know which that's, I think it's from Get Together. But we've got like a little bench. We've got some plants here from the Werewolves pack. And we've just got some more little planties. And this area just ended up looking so cute. We do have like a little kids bike there. That's from Growing Together. And we have a little picnic area out the front with, again, that tiny living rug, because to me it looks a bit like an outdoor rug. We have a picnic table from Cats and Dogs and a picnic basket on it from Cottage Living. It looks so cute. And then this is the entryway to our beautiful home. If I go in tab mode, I can show you a bit more easily. It's just, honestly, I'm so shit at the Sims 4 controls, like trying to show. If we go in through the beautiful home, you can see the beautiful kitchen. Honestly, I love it. I think it looks so cute. Let me zoom out a bit so you can see. So we have our lovely kitchen space. There's the fridge, everything. It looks so like welcoming and homey, and I really love it. If you look to the side, you can see our little entry area. If I just zoom out, and you can see all of the little clutter stuff on there. You can see all of the bills that are due. And if you turn around, you can see the little plants. And I also added that thing there from Cats and Dogs, because I just thought it made sense to have like a little place to put their like leash and stuff. If you look over here, you can see the washing area. You can see the beautiful dining table, all of the custom art from the gallery that is honestly beautiful. And yeah, I really like the way that this all turned out. I think it just looks so cute. Honestly, it's one of my favorite builds that I've done in a really long time. If I take us over here, you can see the living room. You can see all of the beautiful curtains. You can see the TV, the little places where you can game with your family. We've got our little stacked table situation here. There's some living chairs, and honestly, whichever way you look at this from, it just looks so freaking cute. I'm obsessed. And then if I just skew us out of the house and I look this way, you can see the beautiful like little wall display that I've got with all of the mirrors and everything, and honestly it just looks stunning. But like, I'm really happy with this living room area. That couch from Paranormal Stuff, honestly love it. And just the whole vibe of this place, I just really like it. And if we go, we can see the bathroom. Let's go see the bathroom. So in the bathroom, this is the downstairs bathroom. You can see that I added some little custom art here. We've got a little bit of clutter. We've got our mirror and our sink and our lovely shower. And then if we go upstairs one, in our hallway, in like the landing, you can see that we have this beautiful like gallery wall with all of the art, with all of the prints from the gallery, which I love. If I go here, you can see like our beautiful landing area where we have this gorgeous mirror that you cannot see me in, which is kind of like creepy, isn't it? And I just really like it. If we go around here, we've got our beautiful bookshelf, and I added just a little like plant thing again to sort of like take up space. And then this is our first bathroom up here. This is sort of like the kids' bathroom, even though it's obviously not. But I did make it a little bit more like kid friendly rather than, hold on. I did make it a little bit more kid friendly, so it's just a little bit more plain, and there is a laundry hamper. And then if we go in, I'm so excited to show you the kids' room. If we go into the little kids' room, this is what it looks like. So it's just like a color explosion everywhere. I'm obsessed with this room. There's a little height chart right there. We've got all of their paintings and everything. And like this room, why is it doing that? This room, it's so messy and I love it. I'm genuinely obsessed with it. I think it just looks so freaking cute. And then the parents' room, honestly, I'm like literally obsessed, if you can tell, with like this whole build. I think the parents' room just looks so like it's cool. And I think you can see what I mean as well by having all of the different like areas. Like there's this area with like the mirror and the blankets and the guitar and the lamp, and I just think that looks like, I don't know, its own little area. And then if I show us over here, this is where we have our beautiful desk with all of our little debug postcards. Someone's been reading a book and they've put it on top of my laptop. We've got this snow globe here as well from Debug, and I just think it looks so cute. And then if I turn around, you can just see the beautiful bed, and I think this looks so cute. If I go over, you can see the little wardrobe with the little like mum bear on it. They've obviously got some washing already. They have been busy. They've only been in this house for like 2 minutes and they already have so much laundry. And then this is our beautiful balcony. I love it. I added some little planters there, just honestly with like some bushes like from the plant menu just in there. And then I added some little candles again and this little dog. That, and then obviously there is the ensuite bathroom as well. I did something a little bit different in here. I added like a little shelf thing which has like again some more custom art. This was like when I was trying to do the walkthrough the first time, the shelf was like way too high, so I just lowered it. They've got another mirror over there, and that is pretty much the whole house. Again, I am literally obsessed with it. I think it looks insane. It took a really, really long time as well. So I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Any feedback you've got, I'd really appreciate it if you could put it in the comment section down below. I've never done anything like this before. I'm really excited to continue. But yeah, that's all I've got for you today, and thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!